Welcome to the video. I'm CuddlyJay, and today we shall be looking at 7 things you didn't know about the Battlefront classic game from 2004. Now, fans of these games might remember all of these things that were on this list, but I will share with you what ones I actually forgot existed in the game, so let's get straight into this and get the video going. The first one is about the Jedi and Sith, who were actually support characters in the original Battlefront game. What I mean by this is they were a form of reinforcements for your side and the enemy side. You couldn't play as your favorite Jedi or Sith, but you could see them in action in the game. Eventually they would spawn into the game and run around killing all in their sight. You can of course turn this on or off, disabling them from the game if you wanted. Now this is something I did totally forget though, and this was the Jedi and Sith that appear as reinforcements. These characters were actually immortal. That's right, they were almost completely unkillable. The only way you could take one of these characters down in the original Battlefront Classic from 2004 was of course by knocking them off the map. You could do this with grenades if you were skilled enough. This was definitely the hardest way to do it though, and you could sometimes use a turret to do this if you could kite them to the turrets, get into the turret, and then you could shoot them off the map. You could also use a rocket launcher weapon to try hit them off the map as well. This was definitely my favorite map for dealing with these Jedi or Sith lords. But this was the Bespin City platform map. Now of course they would spawn right back after falling off the map, but hey, we'll count that as a kill. Now a cool thing that I did run into recently was if we actually look at the Hoth map, you can sometimes see Luke attacking an AT-AT, the all-terrain armored transport, and sometimes he will get squashed by them and die that way. He will of course respawn, so it's not really a death, but hey, it's the closest thing we got to actually killing them in the first game. So very recently I just found out if you get an aircraft and you can manage to land it onto a hero, units such as a Jedi or Sith, then they will die as well. For our third one on the list, I will be discussing Jabas Palace. If you have this game on the PC, on Steam, you actually get this map within the purchase. But this was actually originally not in the original Battlefront Classic 2004 game back in the day. You had to download this as it was a DLC for the game, which of course means downloadable content. Now correct me if I'm wrong, but I believe this was only downloadable for the Xbox version of the game, and it wasn't available for the PS2 version of the game. Personally, I don't remember this map in my PS2 version of this game when I was younger playing it, so correct me if I'm wrong, but I believe it was for only the Xbox version of the game that had the downloadable content of Jabas Palace. Overall, it's actually really cool seeing this in Battlefront Classic, as it had all of the cool things in it, like the Rancor in the pit. It would grab anything that stood in front of it and of course eat it, just like the Battlefront 2 game. But yeah, anyways, Jabas Palace, in my opinion, one of the coolest maps in Battlefront 1. Now, if we go on to the Yavin Temple map on the side of the clone troopers here, we're going to spawn in the temple itself, and you can of course explore this temple if you want, but we're going to go outside of this temple, and there are special turrets placed just outside to help with the defense of this temple. These are known as the Yavin Tower turrets, and as you can see, you are very high up from the ground when you get into these. The coolest thing about these specific turrets are the animated scopes in first person. These are the only ones like this in Battlefront Classic 1, and I believe exclusive to this game as well, which I find very cool indeed. They are placed all around this map and deal a lot of damage, but are very squishy, and you can destroy these very easily. But I think it's really cool how they had their own little scope for this, and I bet some of you forgot about this. Now for our fifth one, if we have a look at the Battlefront 2 game from 2005, and we go on to the Hoth planet, let's have a look at this Luke Skywalker skin for this character. The reason I want to compare this is because in the original game, I personally think the outfit and all looks way cooler and better in Battlefront 1 Classic. So let's go have a look at that now. Honestly, it just looks better. Like, correct me in the comments below, but doesn't it just look way cooler in Battlefront 1 than 2? Another cool thing about this is when you're on this map in Battlefront 1 here, the original game, and you're running around with Luke, he has this costume for this specific map, but on any other map, he just wears another outfit. So it's very cool that they were like, you know what, to make this lore friendly, we'll chuck this cool pilot fit onto him and ensure it's lore friendly. So now we're on Renar Harbor, as you can see, and we're going to look at these ice things here. As you can see, these are plastered around this cave, and look at how realistic this ice looks. You can see through it onto the other side, and honestly, for being made in 2004, this ice is on another level. It looks really realistic, and it just shocked me that I just totally forgot how real this looks in 2004. And if you come over here, there's a couple more. There's one by here, and then there is one that just goes down this way, out of the cave. But as you can see enemies and all through it. Like, it's very realistic, really good indeed. Now, if you come to the back of the cave here, oh, sorry about that, Mace Windu, but if you come to the back of the cave here in this Renar Harbor, basically when you're heading out this way to the Republic side, there is this. Now, I've been told that this is actually mist coming down and then going over. I always thought this was water behind the ice coming down, so it's really up to you what you think it is, but I think it looks really good. It's something that a lot of people forget about as well. Personally, I just always thought it was ice, because when you kind of look at it here, it looks like it's under the water, but I could also see it being mist. So let me know in the comments below what you think it is. Is it just the water under the ice moving, or is it mist coming down? So you know what, we're going to give a bonus one here. Technically it could be considered an 8th one, but I'm going to just do a bonus one because I can't really show it in the game, but we can definitely discuss it. So the bonus one here, for something you might have not known, is in the Steam version and the Xbox version of these games. When they were updated, the Tusken Raiders were actually nerfed. Now, if you go back to the PS2 version, or you can get your hands on an older version of this game without any updates, guess what? The Tusken Raiders will actually be able to take over the map very easily and push both factions back into one spawn point, especially in multiplayer mode. If you and your friend were against each other and did nothing, from what I know and remember, basically the Tusken Raiders would just take over the whole map. I believe they got debuffed somehow, as something to do with their weapon damage or something, and the fire rate of their weapons was just incredibly high, so they were able to easily take over the map. But yeah, the Steam version of the game right now, and I believe an updated version of the Xbox One, you will be playing with the nerfed Tusken Raiders. And I do remember the Tusken Raiders actually being very difficult to play against, and it was a lot of fun. I loved Dune Sea just for that, the Tusken Raiders, the Sarlacc Pit, and just overall it was a blast to play this when I was a young lad. Overall, I hope you enjoyed this video. If you would like to see another one like this, please leave some comments below, leave some likes. It will definitely, make me want to make another one. And of course, subscribe to the channel. I appreciate any and all support. Anyways, I'll see you all in another video. And of course, let me just say, cheerio everyone.